Hello and welcome to episode 17 of my Endwalker playthrough. Stuff has just happened. Let's go talk to some people. When the Imperials charged upon us, we were able to avoid any serious injuries on either side. In truth, most of the Garleans were in no condition to fight. Sunken eyes, hollow cheeks. It must have been a long time since they had a decent meal. I'm sure they will be much more amicable to conversation with food in their bellies. I just returned from guarding the airships, and now I've got to keep an eye on the captured Imperials. Maybe a bit of chit-chat will help lighten the mood. It was a grave error not to post sentries further from the camp. Had we seen the Garleans sooner, we could have slain them before the truce was called. They engaged us of their own free will and deserved to die warriors' deaths. Even so, I have not forgotten why we are here, and I will stay my hand for now. You know, I'm beginning to question whether or not you have forgotten why we're here. Even with their empire in ruin, the Garleans have not lost the will to fight. That strength shall serve them in the days to come. There is yet life in this cold soil. Thank goodness the 10th Legion decided to sue for peace when they did. We have been spared more senseless bloodshed, which is the least anyone, including the First, needs. From their perspective, though, the promise of reinforcements was their last hope, and now they have no choice but to capitulate to the invaders. But we have proved them. But we will prove to them that not all is lost, and we yet stand a chance of casting out the Clothroi. With the imminent crisis averted, Lucia seeks to gain a clearer understanding of the present situation. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposal of their forces. Disposition of their forces. They were prepared for war while the refugees were in their care. Let's try that again. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care left to go hungry. Reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they were sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic, but perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Ulysses back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphino, Alizé, and the scouts sent to extricate them, should already be at the station. I will also have another comrade in the area lend their support should they need it. Understood. I will have food and bedding prepared for the refugees. Get them here safely. However, getting them here safely is my immediate concern. Oh, I see a blue quest. That is for after this episode. That's 1 Aether Current. Two Aether Currents. 3 more remain. We'll get them later because they're probably all in this area here. And we have arrived. What are you doing back here? Where's Ulysses and the others? Oh, I did not expect you to arrive so soon. There's been a development. Perhaps you'd best see for yourself. 'Tis a comfort to see thee none the worse for thy recent ordeal. Nathan and Euless. We arrived just before you did, and it's too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, he... No. No, he wouldn't. Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course, shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free, free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of refugees here to Camp Oaken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach the camp safely. Aye. After what's happened to his family, the first was all Euless had left. Now, even that's been taken away from him. He's not alone in that, either. There's a comfort in having someone to follow, someone to lead. Things have gone from dire to bleak. Or bleaker than they already were. I don't know how to offer encouragement or solace to these poor souls, but if it's safe passage to our camp they'll need, I'll gladly oblige. I want to talk to every one of these guys first. Oh yeah, I suppose talking to him might be prudent, although it looks like we're coming back in here in a bit anyway. Best not dwell on it. Not when there's work to be done. This is where it happened. Why? Damn it all, is there truly nothing to be done? Try what we might, any words of comfort we may offer are likely to fall on deaf ears. But we are but strangers from a foreign land, perhaps in their eyes the very cause of their suffering to begin with. Nevertheless, we mustn't give up. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think that we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it, So take me with you. Take me with you, please. Well, got the etherite sorted out in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it's working as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in the latrum is also functioning as normal. That's why you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Everything is going to be alright now. Oh, that's not what I was after. To employ healing magics now would likely invite catastrophe, as thou canst attest from thine experience at Victor's spoils. Indeed, the Guardians view our ability to manipulate ether with the same suspicion that many Eorzeans do Magitech. Ah, it's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that that makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words just start to lose its meaning, until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate. And I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'll be glad to accept. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we had hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's chains, courtesy of our Leminson friends. I'd save it for the tempered though. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Okay, so we're heading out south and around. Area number 1. On to area number 2. Okay, we have to bring them low enough that they collapse. Did that work? Says we're done. Moving on. This location looks empty. No threats. On to 4. More Imperial soldiers. And done. Oh, I was going to teleport back to camp, but given the location of that, it's going to be quicker just to run over there. How'd you fare? Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The Tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind appraising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first and all that. Ah, Nathan, I was informed of Quintus's suicide. It must have come as a great shock to his men. What of the refugees? I were told that some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear from your first-hand account. That so many did not hesitate to accept provide... let's try again after I've had a sip of tea. That so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to keep them feeling welcome, or to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugee, perfidy notwithstanding. After all, even if I want to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of their legators, and that following his suicide they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be treated as a war criminal and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life he hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who can say? I didn't know the man, or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and it falls to us to clean up the mess. Lucia has further news for you. I assume you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as it happens. Now that we've procured the ceruleum from Tapper's Den and recently repaired the heaters, the recently repaired heaters can provide much needed warmth. Furthermore, we've prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium, Trium, whatever it was, shall find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that we're capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. On your way, might I ask you seek out your Stola? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she meant to take a rest herself. See that she is. I see 3 more icons, and given that 4th one up there, that means we are rapidly coming to the end of this map. So I will have to get them done between now and next episode. We shall address... we still have to address... we still have the heaters ready to... Oh, let's try this again. Good lord. We shall have the heaters ready before long. With the problem of this dreadful cold addressed, I imagine demeanor may change for the better. I plan to make heaters enough not only for the camp but for those who have chosen to remain at the station as well. It's no use talking to all of these Garleans if we're going to let them freeze to death. We need heat, for goodness sake. I knew we should have brought more warming tinctures. More people at the camp means more bodies to keep warm. The Smiths have been scrambling to get enough heaters for everyone, and we've got people searching for firewood in case it comes to that. My tongues are getting very tired. Tongues, plural? I see a chocobo keep. I must push that button to get rid of that exclamation mark. Yes, yes, I've been taking proper breaks and imbuing sufficient water. But what of the Warrior of Light? You and the twins have an established history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. We're all fortunate that none of you landed yourself in my care. I've already quite enough to deal with between the tempered and the first wounded. Alas, though I can mend their bodies, the toll of their experience has taken their hearts and mind to another matter entirely. For their sake, we mustn't waver, but nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day won, and in so doing, invite disaster. Upon settling down for supper, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Settle down for a restful supper. No, there's an exclamation point that needs to be removed. There, it's gone. We can have supper now. And I can rest my voice. This is almost certainly voiced.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Leminson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
As if you helped any at all.
I did a damn sight more than you lily-livered bilge rat.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here. At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it. I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
Mmm. It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible.
I mean, this isn't me doing this. Everyone's done this. I can't take credit for this.
Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent. We owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter.
We often don't have the luxury of choice. No, as do I.
I'm honored to fight by your side. As an Eorzean and Garlean both, I shall do all in my power to bring my peoples together.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Why have they got the tower looming in the background in this particular shot?
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
The flower.
behalf of the Garlemald Empire, thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varus?
They are being tempered. The talismans. Quickly!
Save me, brave hero! Ahem. My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
Oh shit!
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken. Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh.
They transferred my soul into someone else?
So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo. His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
This is such a pain in the ass. I kind of want to say that. Screw it.
Come now. To us Asians, it is no different from trying on new clothes. Why not make the most of it by partaking in this fine cuisine? I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes. Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate. Ah, exposition is in order.
No, that's fine. Let me guess. The primal you summoned is Varys. Emperor Varys. You summoned a primal based upon him.
The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course. As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Zosgalvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory.
So that's Animos.
And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their anima. It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery. Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us, of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion. Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone.
Endwalker. Nidhana. Sorry, it's not Nidhana. Nidana. And Julius.
At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger, and it would seem my friend has lost his appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of Cassian, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself.
Is he planning to swap bodies with me?
Or together.
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity. Ah, there it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making his way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue. Tempered soldiers, with standing orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
There's the duty. I was wondering when the duty for this was going to show up. Alright. What we got here? You haven't even got a sprint. Well, there's no way around him. We're going to have to go through him. Oh look, we got around him. Borrowed flesh.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
The tempered Imperial has breathed his last. Inspect. The unfortunate Soren is carrying a medikit. You may use this medikit to... And where you can only carry a limited number, more can be found by inspecting fallen soldiers or reckoning magic there. When in possession of your, you may have had the capacity to subdue elements. In this battle, you are unable to use your full extent of your powers to reach the camp. Use quickly, you should avoid combat wherever possible. If you are discovered, your foe will give chase. The magic units are especially powerful, and your chances of defeating them in your current state are slim at best. Would you care to turn around? Thank you. I don't know what kind of visibility range they have. Okay. Gives us opportunity to go this way. Much as I'd like to get some more medkits, I'm not worried about him, I'm worried about whatever direction he's going to go. There's a death claw over there. They're both up there? Oh no, he doesn't have his back to me. Now he does, now they do. Okay, go. That claw turned around at the most inopportune moment. Say, according to the Gason. We are heading in the wrong direction. Although if we can get outside, then that's half the trouble done. Yeah, no, he pointed us off in the wrong direction. This is not good. They just turned around. I'm more concerned about them. We are allowed to go under. Nope, we're not supposed to go that way. The way we started going in the first place. So we've just looped all the way back around on ourselves. I can't see. Okay, there's a specific path it wanted us to take. After being damaged, the weaponry should still be functional. It may be able to clear a path that you can... Well, we found the fuel, goddammit! No, nothing we could do with it at the time. Now that we need it, rather than grabbing it, it could seem useful. Fuel is still flammable. It could have been used for explosives. No, that claw will see me. Not this one. Was there one further ahead? Can we get around him? Damn it, one of us has seen him. Fuel concealing language. We still have rehabilitation up, which means that this is worth. Well, I'm not going to be too worse off for engaging in this fight. Okay, we've used the civilian tank. What about key? There we go. Damage up increased. Can I inspect the deceased Imperial? Don't turn around, don't turn around. No, you see me? My retainer. I've been leveling up one of my retainers again. They were a white mage, but because I've stopped being white mage as my main healer, I'm swapping them over to scholar to make it easier to level them up in the future. Okay. I'm over here inside the burning building. Come quickly. Burning building? I'm over here. Oh, right in there. No. You've not been turned. Thank goodness. I thought I was the only one left. God, the bastards got my hands when they took the magic down my magic reaper. If you can repair its legs though, it should still work. Here, take this key. If I had to use my hands, I might have stood a chance out there. Please, send help if you can. What we got? Magitech cannon. Requesting reinforcements. to embark. I have to get back to shelter. Ugh. Unable to escape the blast, you begin to lose consciousness. Why are you opening up, menu? Go away! I don't have control pressed. At death's door, gravely wounded, your claws saved you and regain consciousness. With the last of your strength, crawl. It's a long ass way away. Clinging to life. We're getting faster. We're getting faster.
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Eulas? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw him leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well he can handle himself, I worry all the same.
Ah, speak of the devil.
Well, time to call off the search.
But that's not me.
Case closed.
That's him. Over there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive his presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But...
You should recognize that, Aura.
Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now. All's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Who are you?
My only weapon. No. Get away from them, you bastard.
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go. But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I have yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective. Charitable souls that you are, you bent over backwards to aid them. Heedless of the delay. Predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether. And then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles. The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days!
The gods themselves will be my meal. Your dear companions my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake. All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation.
Thank goodness. He's awake.
Is everyone alright? Yeah, I'm more concerned about them than I am me.
Perfectly fine, yes. I hope the same can be said of you.
I felt better.
Everything in working order? That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Van Daniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
Stern nod. Well, damn, that was the whole thing. Let's have a quick word with everyone, and then we'll have to wrap this episode up, because it sounds like we've got a dungeon coming. I will require a detailed report on what happened while you were not yourself. For the contingent, of course. It can wait until later, however. For now, we have enough. It's enough to have you returned. The body that you were forced to inhabit turned cold and stiff the moment that you were returned to your own. Perhaps the soul it belonged to is long gone. Let us pray it is so, for I doubt it would be better off in the care of Xenos or Fandaniel. Thank heavens you're you again. Gave me quite a fright. Whatever it was, let's not do that again, huh? Full glad am I to see thy awake and restored to thine own flesh once more. You are certain you are recovered? You mustn't push yourself, especially after an experience like that. No apologies necessary, least of all to me. If anything, there's a strange comfort in knowing I'm no longer the only one having been used as a villain's puppet. Though I pray you'll be the last. Yes, 'tis still you. My apologies. I realised too late that the ether emanating from the tower was distorting my perceptions. 'Twas likely a temporary effect, but I remain wary. You're certain you're well? Nothing out of place? No missing bits? Good, though I won't promise the same for Van Daniel and Xenos after I'm through with them. How much must these people suffer before they are satisfied? How many cruel, pointless tricks must they play? prelude to the final days, or no, this ends now. Well, this episode has to end now, I'm afraid. Can we have the tower in the background? No, it's night and it's cloudy and it's too far away, so we'll have the crystal in the background instead. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. I have 4 side quests to complete. Take a bit of a break from my voice. That'll give me till tea time, make it 5 o'clock. And then we shall come back and see about a dungeon, which may be the next quest, it may be the one after it, but we'll have a trial after that. I can almost guarantee it. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheerio.